So, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy Sam. Guys, today I'm coming to you guys with a top tier FLOOWANDEREEZE deck profile. In my opinion, I think this deck is going to be super duper top tier in this entire format. Post Burst of Destiny, this deck is insane. One of the best anti-meta decks out there. Any deck that is reliant on special summoning can say goodbye because the M-Pen, yes, happy feet, the M-Pen, hiccups, the M-Pen, happy feet, ×2 will send you to the Shadow Realm. I'm gonna start telling you guys to have a wonderful day, but instead, I'm gonna tell you guys to have a productive week. Guys, we're almost at 450,000 subscribers, man. Honestly, we're almost there. 20k more subs to go. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, please make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. It'll mean a lot to me. Alright guys, don't waste any more of your time. Without further ado, let's start with a brand new FLOOWANDEREEZE deck profile. This deck is top tier. It is. Alright guys, here we go. Alright guys, here we have it, the brand new FLOOWANDEREEZE deck profile. And let me tell you guys, this deck is going to be one of the top tier decks in this entire format. Without further ado, let's begin. First and foremost, we're going to play, of course, the big boss man himself, FLOOWANDEREEZE and M-Pen. This card is absolutely phenomenal. What this card does, super simple. If this card is tribute summon, you can add one FLOOWANDEREEZE spell or trap card directly from your deck to your hand. Then immediately after this effect resolves, you can normal summon one monster. What's really wonderful about M-Pen is that you don't have to normal summon a winged beast monster. You can normal summon any monster once you resolve its first effect to search a FLOOWANDEREEZE spell or trap card directly from your deck to your hand. But what makes this card so powerful, it's a secondary ability where it reads that while this tribute summon card is in the monster zone, your opponent cannot activate the effects of special summon monsters they control in attack position. So this way, it forces your opponent to special summon monsters in defense, and especially against link monsters, since we all know that link monsters has no defensive stats, they are always in attack mode. So against any link-based deck, M-Pen literally annihilates that matchup. Also at the same time, if your opponent tries to run this card over by battle, it has an amazing ability where it reads that once per battle, during the damage calculation, if this card battles an opponent monster, quick effect, you can banish one card from your hand. That opponent monster's current attack and defense becomes half until the end of this turn. So this card right here is able to change the attack and defensive stats of monsters, so it can trample over anything that deems problematic, right? Which is amazing. So FLOOWANDEREEZE of M-Pen, really good. One of the best normal summons in the entire deck, and is the boss monster that you're trying to get out on the first turn opening field. Once it's out, your opponent's going to have a hard time getting rid of this card, especially if they're playing a link-based deck, right? So, M-Pen is just super duper amazing. 2 copies of M-Pen. Next off, of course, the best starter card in the entire deck. Triple copies of FLOOWANDEREEZE and Rabina. This card's amazing. All the little FLOOWANDEREEZE monsters have the ability where it reads that if this face-up card will leave the field, banish it instead. Alright guys, you kind of want to have these cards banished because they reoccur themselves once they're banished, which is really amazing. And all the smaller FLOOWANDEREEZE monsters have that ability. And once you use this card's ability, you cannot special summon during the turn you activate either of these cards' effect. So this card is normal summon. You can add one level 4 or lower winged beast monster directly from your deck to your hand. Then immediately after this effect resolves, you can normal summon one winged beast monster. So this deck doesn't special summon, it just normal summons multiple times in the exact same turn. You can get multiple normal summons like 3 times in one turn, which is absolutely insane. And if a winged beast monster is normal summon, to your field while this card is banished, you can add this card from your banish zone to your hand, which is really good. So banishing these cards are really good because once you banish them, they just reoccur themselves back from the banished pile to your hand whenever you normal summon a winged beast monster, right? So triple copy of Rabina, absolutely insane to play in the deck. Next off, triple copies of Eaglin. Same thing with Rabina. Instead of searching level 4 or lower, this card searches a level 7 or higher winged beast monster directly from your deck to your hand. So Rabina searches Eaglin. Eaglin comes out. Eaglin searches the M-Pen, and you basically get a search spell or trap card directly from your deck to your hand, which is really, really good. So triple copies of Eaglin, really standard. Next, we're going to play, of course, Stree. FLOOWANDEREEZE and Stree. This card is really amazing. Stree, whatever you guys want to call this card. What it does is it's a DD Crow on summon, which is really good. So it's DD Crows, and then you can immediately normal summon a winged beast monster once you activate its effect, which is really good. So it just plays your opponent's graveyard. Any problematic effects that happens in the grave, Stree just immediately takes care of those instantly, right? So really good. Next off, you're going to play, of course, the 1 Toucan. This card right here, when it's normal summon, you basically get to target one of your banished FLOOWANDEREEZE cards and add it to your hand, right? So only 1 copy of this card, just an additional name in the deck as well. And it also recycles your FLOOWANDEREEZE cards, like spell or trap cards that you want to recycle, which is really amazing. So Toucan is just really good for that. Next off, of course, for your support cards, you're going to play the 1 Barrier Statue of Stormwinds. This card's amazing. Like I said, guys, Rabina can search Stormwinds and it can normal Stormwinds, so that way that your opponent is just locked into wins, which is absolutely insane. So you can easily get access to this, and it'll be a hard time for your opponent to get rid of cards like Stormwinds, which is really good. Next up, Rise of the Mega Monarch. Oh my goodness, guys, funny story. I actually found this in my bulk this morning. I've been looking for this card for weeks, and no one has it in Toronto. So Rise of the Mega Monarch card is amazing. One of the best cards in this deck. Hands down. You can tribute summon this card by tributing one tribute summon monster. So you can tribute it over the M pen if you want. If this card is tribute summon, target one card on the field and one card in other player's graveyard. Also, if this card is tribute summoned by tributing a win monster, you can target an additional card on the field. Place the first targets on the top of the deck in any order. Also, after that, return the additional targets to the hand. So this card right here, you can easily summon on your opponent's turn to disrupt their plays and just bounce back cards, which is insane. So Rise of the Mega Monarch is mandatory in this deck 100,000%. And of course, the one Miss Valley, Apex, Avion cards is really good for additional negates you can bring out with this deck. And you can easily search these cards directly from your deck to your hand using, of course, the Eaglin, right? Eaglin searches M-Pen, and he also searches these cards as well, which is really, really good. So that's pretty much for your additional win monsters. And last but not least, I played the one Dogmatic Ecclesia the Virtuous. This card's amazing. I'm playing triple copies of Punishment, and the reason why Ecclesia is so good is because one, you can search it off Titaniclide if you send it to the graveyard using your Dogmatic Punishment, and also at the same time, since you're not going to be special with this deck, if you guys don't understand that M-Pen is really broken. Like all the other small Floowandereeze monsters says that you can normal summon one Winged Beast monster, whereas M-Pen says you can normal summon one monster. So if you open up with the Ecclesia, or if you search it using Titanicide, you can actually activate M-Pen if you summon it to normal summon the Ecclesia to search your additional interruption like Dogmatic of Punishment, which is absolutely insane. So Ecclesia just has so many uses in the deck, and the reason why I play it is because I play Punishment, and Punishment can search this card because you're sending Titanicide to the graveyard, and it just has so many uses with the M-Pen right here, and those scenarios do come up to get you additional disruptions during your opponent's turn, right? Which is amazing. Next off, of course, for your spells, triple copies of the map. This card insane, guys. So good. What it does is during your main phase, you can reveal one of your Floowandereeze monsters in your hand and banish one Floowandereeze card with a different name from your deck. Then immediately after this effect resolves, normal summon the real monster. So you're constantly just getting advantage of this card right here, which is so good. So you banish Rabina, summon Eaglin, and then you can just activate, of course, Rabina to add itself back to hand. And there's so many different ways for you to combo in this deck, which is really good. And map just makes this deck 1,000 times more consistent. Once the quick play comes out, the deck just gets better and better, so that way you can play around Imperm and Builder even more. But the fact that this card gets you access to any of your Floowandereeze monsters is really good, right? To just immediately banish them right away. And once you banish the small guys, you can always recur the mag once you normal summon a Winged Beast monster. Also, this card has an amazing ability where it reads that if your opponent normal summons a monster, immediately after this effect resolves, you can normal summon one Floowandereeze monster. So you're essentially playing on your opponent's turn while this card is in your field zone, which is amazing. So map is just ridiculous. Next off, of course, the one copy of Terraforming to search the map directly from your deck to your hand, and of course the one copy of Floowandereeze and the Unexplored Winds. You can conduct tribute summons that require 2 tributes by sending one monster you control and one card your opponent controls to the graveyard instead of tributing. It is still treated as a tribute summon, so essentially a Monarch Stormforth, which is absolutely insane. And during your main phase, you can view up to 2 Winged Beast monsters. Winged Beast, it doesn't have to be Floowandereeze. It can be any other Winged Beast monster in your hand as well. Place them on the bottom of your deck in any order. Then draw a card equal to the number of cards placed. So you place 2 cards, you draw 2 cards. And last but not least for your Floowandereeze card is Floowandereeze and the Dreaming Town. The card's phenomenal. So during your main phase, immediately after this effect resolves, normal summon 1 level 4 lower Winged Beast monster. Alright, so you're playing on your opponent's turn. This is why this deck is so good, is because not only do you play on your turn, but you also play on your opponent's turn. Alright, if you tribute summon a level 7 or higher monster while this card is in your graveyard, you can banish this card from your grave, change all monster opponent controls to face down defense position. So not only is this card a card that protects all your monsters, but it interrupts your opponent's play by booking and eclipsing everything, which is really good. And Toucan can always recycle this card from your banish zone to your hand, which is absolutely amazing. And essentially, Ultimate Conductor Triano with a double summon on your opponent's turn, which is so good. So you're obviously going to be playing on your opponent's turn, which is what makes this deck super duper nice. So interruption and also a utility card. Next off of cards that supports this deck, triple copies of Pot of Prosperity. You need to play 3 copies of this. I think Prosperity is really important because this deck, it kind of reminds me of Monarchs. You kind of need to see your starters to actually play with this deck, and Pot just digs you 6 cards deeper to see your Rubina or Eaglin, right? Which is really good. So you need to play 3 copies of Prosperity. Next off, of course, for consistency, you're maximizing it. triple copies of Duality, really good, and it doesn't conflict with Prosperity as well. So Duality is just really, really great to dig 3 cards deeper into your combo pieces, and you don't special summon anyway, so Duality becomes insane. Next, for your more utility cards, triple copies of Book of Moon. This card's amazing. The reason why Book of Moon is so good is because in this format, everybody's playing Veiler, everybody's playing Infirm, everybody's playing Droplets, and the best way to dodge all those cards that negates is Book of Moon. Summon Rabina, they're going to Imperm, they're going to Veiler. Chain Book of Moon. Like, your effects resolve, you pretty much can combo off. This card essentially a pseudo Call by the Grave or a pseudo Crossout Designator, but you don't have to play the bricks on your deck, obviously, right? So I feel like Book of Moon is just a little bit stronger than Crossout in this deck. I've been playing that since like for a while now, and I feel like Book of Moon just does the job right there and then. So triple copies of Moon. This card's really, really amazing. Next off, of course, the Call by the Grave, essentially a 4th copy of Book of Moon, and of course the 1 Gold Sark, which is essentially a Rhoda for the deck, which is so, so good. Next off are your traps, of course, triple copies of Punishment. Card's so good. You need to play Ecclesia in the deck, in my opinion. You're playing 3 copies of Punishment. Punishment, send Titanic Light, search Ecclesia. More disruptions that you get access to, which is really, really good. And last but not least, for your hand traps, of course, triple copies of Infinite Impermanence. Really great hand trap in today's metagame as well. And your opponent can't call by this, which is really good. So, Impermanence is a really good trade in this format, in my opinion. Really good against Sword Soul. If their only plays try to get out the token, you just Infinite Imperm them so they don't get access to the token in the field. Turns off all the 10Es also at the same time. If they don't have any other plays to extend, then they're pretty much just going to end their turn, right? So Imperm is just really good for that. Really good against the mirror as well, which is really nice. And last but not least, of course, the best hand trap in the game right now, which this deck can easily abuse, is triple copies of D-Shifter. This card is a little bit ridiculous. It's a turn skip. This card literally says skip your opponent's turn, and it's so broken. So if you have no cards in your graveyard, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard until the end of the next turn. Card sent to the graveyard is banished instead, right? So Dragon Link destroyed, PK destroyed, Sword Soul 10Es destroy. Literally, this card just destroys every single meta deck in today's format, and it doesn't hurt this deck at all, which is why FLOOWANDEREEZE is so good, is because you can play cards like Shifter. So this card is just absolutely insane. So pretty much for me, let's go off to the extra deck real quick. For the extra deck, you have a lot of utility spots, like, you know, for Zeus, obviously, because you're playing the down nerds and stuff. You obviously can't make these often, but for the following turn, you can just easily make them once you have bodies on the board. You play, of course, the Promenade Thrush. I only have 1 copy, so I will play 2, but I only have 1. Double copies of Gale. Really good cards right here. The only time that you actually ever use your extra deck is during turns 3 and 4. If you have bodies on the board, you just make, of course, Gale, and then you climb up into Zeus, which is really good. You can also make cards like Shurag as well, which is really nice for disruptions, and of course the Baron Blossom as well. These cards are just great utility cards you can play in the extra deck. Next, of course, the double copies of Entis, 1 copy of Titanic, 1 Cypher Lord Omega, and last but not least, the 1 Wind Pegasus drawn off for all the Dogmatica Punishment targets. So that's pretty much it for the main deck, guys. I think the main deck is absolutely amazing. I'm going to show you guys a bread and butter combo that you guys must know when it comes to utilizing this deck right here. Alright guys, welcome to the combo segment of this video. I'm going to showcase you guys the 1 card bread and butter combo that you must know when it comes to playing FLOOWANDEREEZE. I feel like this is the perfect step to guiding those who are new to the deck to understand on what the deck does and how the deck plays, right? And the really good thing about this deck is that it plays with just so little resources, right? Like once you see a Robina, you pretty much have combo. Before we get started with the combo, guys, if you guys haven't gotten your Tri-Souls playmat, make sure you guys get it today. Hit the link down below at tx1.com. Also, at the same time, if you guys want to buy this deck, make sure you guys check out all the links in the description box below. Alright guys, without further ado, let's start with the brand new bread and butter combo for FLOOWANDEREEZE. So all you need is Rabina, alright? So you're gonna normal summon Rabina, you're gonna activate Rabina's effect to search a level 4 or lower winged beast monster directly from your deck to your hand. You want to search Eaglin as soon as you search. So Rabina searches Eaglin, you get to immediately normal summon the Eaglin, and it's the same thing. Once Eaglin is summoned, you search a level 7 or higher winged beast monster, which is of course going to be the M-Pen. And then Eaglin triggers to tribute summon using these 2 to summon, of course, the M-Pen. Since these cards left the field, it's going to be banished, and you're going to do some chain blocking right here, okay? So you're going to add these cards to your hands. You're going to keep Eaglin in the banish zone because you're still going to want to chain block, which is really good. So you're going to keep Eaglin in the banish zone. You're going to use Rabina's Chainlink 2 to add it to the hand, while Chainlink 1, M-Pen is going to search a spell or trap card directly from your deck to your hand. So you're going to add Rabina back to your hand for your banish zone, okay? And of course, M-Pen is going to search your trap, FLOOWANDEREEZE, and the Dreaming Town directly from your deck into your hand. All right, guys? And now you're just gonna set the Dreaming Town, and you have the one Rubina in hand. And this is just off one card. And you guys are probably wondering, Sam, what kind of wacky board is this, Sam? What does this do? Well, for one, you have M-Pen. Any that summons an attack cannot activate their effects. So, pseudo skill drain, aka lose one turn, whatever you guys want to call it. Number 2, on your opponent's turn, alright? During the main phase, you can flip FLOOWANDEREEZE and the Dreaming Town to normal summon the Rubina. This is on your opponent's turn, okay? You're gonna activate Rubina Chainlink 1 and Eaglin Chainlink 2. Okay, cool. Okay, Eaglin is gonna add itself to hand. Rubina gets to search Barrier Statue of Stormwinds. Alright? At this point, you can normal summon the Barrier Statue of Stormwinds that you search off Rubina and keep the Eaglin in hand for follow-ups on the following turn. And what this does is that your opponent now cannot special summon, and the only way is that they can activate their effects if they summon monsters in defense mode. But how are you gonna summon monsters if they're only locked into winds, right? Or what you can do is that you can add this directly from your deck to your hand, right? But instead of normal summoning the Stormwinds, you can normal summon the Eaglin. Alright? And then you can activate Eaglin's effect to search Ryza the Mega Monarch. And then you get a tribute summon these 2 cards right here, which is really good. They'll go banished. Okay? To summon Ryza. And then Ryza will interrupt everything, bounce cards back, etc., etc. And you also have FLOOWANDEREEZE and the Dreaming Town with the ability that reads that you tribute summon a level 7 or higher monster. While this card is in the graveyard, you can banish this card, change all monster your opponent controls to face down defense position. So you have literally a disruption right here. One, you have multiple disruption with Ryza, and you have another disruption with FLOOWANDEREEZE and the Dreaming Town, all with just one Rubina, which is really, really good, right? Instead of even searching a Barrier Statue, you can even just search like a Toucan, right, for the following turn. You can search a Stry for the following turn, or you can search another Eaglin for the following turn, right? But regardless, whatever you normal summon next turn, let's say instead of searching the Barrier Statue of Stormwinds, using, of course, Rubina, you can just search this, right? The Stree, and then you can normal summon this card, banish something, and then these cards are triggered. You can add these cards back to hand, and you can normal summon Rubina. Okay, Rubina activates, and then you just keep continuing your combos for the following turn, which is absolutely insane, right? So one card gives you access to an insane follow-up. Regardless, this deck has so many useful cards to disrupt, to lock your opponents out. You can even summon, of course, another M-Pen if you want to search additional cards for the following turn. You can also even summon Apex Avion 2 instead of course, Ryza. Literally, the deck has access to everything you can imagine. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it, guys, for the deck profile and the combos. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys give this video a huge thumbs up. That'll be absolutely amazing. Let me know your thoughts about this deck in the comment section below. I'm definitely testing this deck out right now alongside Sword Souls. Sword Souls is my favorite deck at the moment, but I definitely want to test this out furthermore. I've been playing this deck online for the past couple months, and I love the way it works. I love that one card just starts everything. But the only issue that I have to say with this deck is that it bricks a lot. It bricks more than Sword Souls. Kind of reminds you of Monarchs. And we're just waiting for that quick spell to come out. When it comes out, the deck is going to be 1,000 times better. So yeah, guys, this is my honest opinion on the deck. I think it's really awesome, but it does have its flaws. It bricks. It breaks like every deck, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave comments in the comment section below on what your thoughts are on this deck, and make sure you guys get the brand new Tri Souls playmat today in the link down below at tx1.com. Alright guys, peace!